Well, it only seems like yesterday since I did the Omoda 5 long-term test update. But here we are, less than 24 hours later, and it's another update because I believe in coincidence, and I'm sure this is just a coincidence and nothing more than that. But yesterday, I stood outside the Omoda dealership and recorded a video, and last night put that video up. Now, this is just a coincidence. There's nothing to see here, nothing going on. But Lesley's had a phone call from the dealers giving her an update. I mean, what are the chances? What are the chances of that? That's unbelievable, isn't it? She's heard nothing from them for weeks. And then Fatty goes and stands outside the dealership and puts a video on YouTube. Next thing, they're on the phone giving her an update, leaving her an answer phone message. I mean, what are the chances? So anyway, just in case, I'll bring you up to speed, but just go back and watch the other 4 videos. Basically, car stopped working, keys wouldn't work, OBD reader wouldn't talk to the car, found the faulty part, the module unit. What was it? Hang on. Lesley, what was it? Got to get it right. Oh dear. Body domain module. There we go. Sorry about that, readers. Talk amongst yourselves. It was the body domain module, and then they fitted the new body domain module and then discovered that they couldn't talk to the car at all. China tried to talk to the car. Nobody could talk to the car. That was the last update. I haven't heard anything since. Well, we have an update. However, this is the transcript from a voicemail. You know, on iPhone now, when people leave a voicemail, it comes through as a text message. Well, obviously, it ain't perfect because no voice recognition software is, particularly with regional accents. So, I'll give it to you, and I'm just going to have to try and filter the shit English out of this and make this absolutely make sense. This is from a man who shall remain nameless because Lesley doesn't want him named. Fair enough, her car. She said, it's not his fault, don't have a go at him. I tried, on behalf of you lot, I tried, because his English is terrible and I wanted to rip him apart. But, no, can't be done, all right? So he remains nameless. However, he'll be watching this and he knows. Matt, you got away with it. Oh no, I've blown this up. I don't need my glasses. Put them down now. So, I thought I'd give you a call this week, let you know where we are. They, as in Omoda, have now asked us to order what they call smart keys for the vehicle. The smart keys are what holds vital information. They're different to the remote keys. Okay, sounds feasible so far. They're the ones they originally set them up with at factories. So we've ordered a couple of those. They think, they don't know, they think what's happening is that when the product's failed and they've imported the new information, it's actually corrupted information that was in the module itself. Now, I don't know whether that means that the information in the module was corrupted by the information going into it, or whether the module arrived from China already corrupted. It's very difficult to tell from this. So they're going from the start, but they need to order these new keys, which we've done, and we're just waiting for a date of when they're going to be here. Obviously, they're coming from China. They're probably coming on a boat. I mean, they may be coming by plane, but there is no delivery date for them yet. They have no idea. So the saga is continuing. We are no further forward. I'll just give you an update. So that's where we are. And they are obviously on top of the situation. Well, due to the very vague, maybe, should be, possibly could be, not quite sure, hopefully. I wouldn't say they're necessarily on top of the situation. They're having a go. You know, they're in the ring and they're still punching. I wouldn't say that they've delivered the knockout blow just yet, but they are still holding their own in the ring for now, to use a boxing analogy. Because he then follows that by saying they know what's going on. They're pretty sure this will cure it. Again, this is not the most convincing language, man that shall remain nameless, from Vosper. They're pretty sure. So they don't know. This is Hail Mary. This is a throw a 6 to start. Well, it could be that. Yeah, let's try that next. That's what it is. This is ongoing diagnostics on a new car with something that they've never encountered before, and they don't actually know what the solution is. And this is the problem with new models, particularly with new dealerships and new brands that aren't established and there is no historical data to go off. That makes things 10 times worse, which is the whole issue for me with all the Chinese brands. It's the lack of dealer support and the lack of history, which was always my concern from the very start, even though the car looked lovely and did everything it was meant to do, for a bit anyway. So it's just a matter of waiting for those keys so they can dial in and do that remotely again for us. So again, even though these keys are coming from China, and then they will have them in the dealership, and then they will plug them into the car somehow, and they still can't communicate with the keys and the car. It has to be done from China because of all these controls that China have put in place to stop anybody else talking to their cars. And this is this is clearly now, right? This proves it. After 4 updates, this is the problem with Chinese cars, is that they're fine until they go wrong. And the problem is that when they go wrong, you now need China to dial in and sort it out. And the only experience I have ever had in the 100 odd cars that I have owned was with a BMW 645, and the radio wouldn't work. And my mate Webby of Parkside Garage, the electronics expert around here in this stuff, found out that what he needed to do was connect the car to Hoffenheim, where they then downloaded the software, because 6 Series are full of bloody fibre optics for some reason. And they had to download software directly into the car from Germany to get it to work. And he did it overnight, and it worked. And I should never have sold that car, but that's a story for another day. Should never have sold it. 18 miles to the gallon, should never have sold it. So this is the issue. For me, this is now the issue with Chinese cars. You can talk about build quality, you can talk about reliability, you can talk about all the other issues and everything else. But for me, and this is proven now with Omoda, is that if something goes wrong electronically, it can't be fixed by the dealer. It needs someone in China to talk to the car. Now, obviously, we've got time differences. We've got miles and miles of distance. And we've got language barriers. And we've got all the other things that go with it involved in, instead of driving into your garage and your mate coming out with his snap-on OBD reader, plugging it in and going, bang, yep, your mass airflow sensor's gone. Order one up from Mill Auto. That arrives within an hour. Plug it in, bang. Yep, that's it. Clear the code. Right, Tone, you're good to go. That's 150 quid. Thank you very much. Bang. Off down the road. Job done. Lovely. You can't do that in Chinese cars because of the protocols that they've put in place to stop anybody else being able to talk to their cars. You are now beholden to the dealer. So as long as your car doesn't go wrong, your Omoda car or your JQ, or the Cheery, because they're all the same thing. They're all from the same place. So they're all going to have the same software in them. That bit's not going to change. They don't change the innards of the car. They only change the outers. So any of those brands, you're all in the same boat. If you have an ECU or a PDM problem, that's going to be your issue. And you're going to have to wait. And if they haven't got a courtesy car, you're without a car. It's already been a month. No, it's been 5 weeks for Lesley already. All for one control unit, which should be plug and play. At the end of the day, these things go wrong. I remember someone telling me, the mechanic telling me that there was one car that had, it was Tone that I played darts with. His Land Rover Discovery had 30 odd ECUs in it. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster, as has been proved with all the JLR stuff, because they keep having to go back into the garage. But an ECU goes wrong, you find out which one it is, you order another one, you undo it, you plug a new one in, and away you go. That doesn't work with China. And that is now the issue. So here we are. The update is they think it's smart keys that will solve the problem. They've ordered smart keys from China. They don't know when they're going to arrive. They haven't got a delivery date. They're not 100% sure it's going to fix the problem. They hope that it will. And in the meantime, just sit tight. It's not ideal, is it? When you've just bought a brand new car, it's only 3 months old. It's not ideal. But this is genuinely, I mean, I feel sorry for Lesley now, because she's basically become a guinea pig. She is now the guinea pig for Omoda drivers. But nevertheless, we now have real world experience of what happens to these cars when they go wrong. And the real world experience is not good. And the dealer's hands are tied. Because it's not like they've got a mechanic there who doesn't know how to work an OBD reader and doesn't know how to do diagnostic stuff. He does. But there's nothing he can do about it if they've put firewalls in to stop you talking to the car in the first place. Therefore, giving the Chinese total control over every vehicle in Britain that's made in China. There you go. There's a scary thought. Think about that one. China have total control over all their brands in Britain. And they can do what they like, because the only way to get that car to work is to talk to China. So if you own a Chinese car and you see two-tier Kia on the news going, well, China aren't our friends, they're enemies, you need to be very worried about that, because the first thing China, never mind sanctions, never mind tariffs, nearly did the Chinese accent then. Well, I will refrain. Just imagine that I'm doing the Chinese accent, because I really don't want to fall foul of community standards on this one. We will turn your cars off. It's so hard not to do the accent. Stop it. And then the next thing, all the BYDs, all the Cheries, all the JQs, all the Omodas are all sat going, what's going on here? The car's not working. Oh, there's been a diplomatic incident. I mean, literally, that could happen. You go, he's making this shit up. No, I am making it up, yes. But it's perfectly feasible that could happen. If Israel can blow 1,000 Palestinian penises off with a pager just from a touch of a button, China can certainly turn off every single car. That's without question. They could do that. Imagine that. We found a load of people spying on us. We're going to expel all the Chinese diplomats. Get back to China. Fair enough. Right. There you go. You be nice to us. We'll turn your cars back on. Well, that video took a turn, didn't it? I mean, make for a good film. Hollywood scriptwriters, if you're out there and you fancy writing it, I'm available. And, I'm very, very reasonable. Compared to, like, some of your Hollywood people, I'm very reasonable. Not sure about the satanic stuff, though. Don't really want to get involved in that side of it. So maybe not Hollywood. Maybe we'll go Pinewood Studios or somewhere like that. I've been there before. Or maybe we could just film on location. Because I don't really want to get into all that stuff. If that's all right with you. Videos took another turn again, didn't it? So there you have it. Anyway, Omoda long-term test update number 5. They think they may have found something that may or may not cure it. And it may or may not happen in the near future. Possibly. future my arse.